Reports suggest that the fifth Thor is set to hit theaters in 2028, taking place after Secret Wars. Chris Hemsworth is slated to reprise his role, with the celestial Arishem positioned as the story's central villain. Adding to the intrigue, movie will also feature some of the Eternals. Marvel has long been celebrated for its creative storytelling and willingness to experiment. However, recent years haven't been kind to the studio. Plagued by reputational and financial setbacks, many Phase 4 projects underwhelmed audiences and critics alike. Eternals, for instance, barely scraped past 400 million at the global box office, a disappointing outcome for a film of its scale. These missteps prompted Marvel to cancel the planned sequel, signaling a pivot towards safer bets and crowd pleasers like Deadpool and Spider-Man. The cancellation of Eternals 2 left several major storylines dangling, particularly those hinting at a massive conflict involving the Celestials. But according to various insiders, these unresolved arcs might find new life in Thor 5. The upcoming film is rumored to dive deeper into Marvel's cosmic side, exploring the manipulations of gods and beings of immense power. Harry Styles' Eros could play a key role here, shedding light on the history of Titan and even delving into Thanos' origins and childhood. Imagine a flashback where the seeds of Thanos' nihilistic philosophy are revealed, an opportunity Marvel can't afford to squander. Chris Hemsworth himself has hinted that Thor 5 could be his swan song in MCU. If that's the case, his next solo movie must deliver a worthy farewell. A showdown between New Asgard and the Celestials, a conflict often explored in the comics, could serve as the narrative backbone. With Galactus set to debut in the Fantastic Four First Steps, Thor 5 might also function as a bridge to fully integrate the Devourer of Worlds into MCU. The possibilities are tantalizing. Let's not forget the tease of Hercules in Love and Thunder. While the son of Zeus was introduced as a potential antagonist, we know better he's unlikely to remain a villain for long. The dynamic between Thor and Hercules, marked by rivalry and playful banter in the comics, is ripe for exploration. Brett Goldstein and Chris Hemsworth's teaming up against a larger-than-life threat like Arishem or Galactus could deliver the kind of cinematic spectacle Marvel desperately needs. If producers plays its cards right, Thor 5 could reignite the MCU's cosmic storyline while giving Hemsworth the send-off he deserves. By merging the unresolved threads of Eternals, the looming shadow of Galactus, and the deep mythology of the Celestials, the film has the potential to not only restore fan faith, but also carve out a new chapter for Marvel's cosmic saga. Additional reports confirm that Thor 5 is heading in a much darker and more mature direction, sharply contrasting with Taika Waititi's humor-heavy approach in the past. After the flop of Love and Thunder, Waititi has been fired by Marvel, so the studio is now in search of a new director. And George Miller has publicly expressed interest in taking on the project. After collaborating with Chris Hemsworth on Mad Max prequel Furiosa, Miller seems eager to reunite with the actor. Chris Hemsworth has admitted in a recent interview that Love and Thunder's tonal inconsistency stemmed partly from his own choices. He acknowledged losing sight of Thor's gravitas, leaning too heavily into comedic improvisation. This self-awareness is promising as the franchise stands at a crossroads, desperate for a reinvention that strikes a better balance between drama and levity. Fans are clamoring for a Thor movie that feels weightier, something closer to dark fantasy than space comedy. Hemsworth himself has expressed a preference for a darker, more dramatic tone over the lighthearted adventure vibes. Speculation suggests that fifth part will explore complex challenges, forcing Thor to confront the darkest aspects of his psyche and life. Given his tragic journey throughout the MCU, it's essential to close his arc with a story that resonates deeply. One promising narrative direction lies in adapting the King Thor storyline. This comic arc features an older, battle-hardened Thor grappling with the end of the universe. As king, he shoulders the immense burden of protecting the remnants of existence while facing adversaries like his resurrected brother Loki, who has grown more powerful and malevolent than ever, and his granddaughters, the goddesses of thunder, who seek to save their dying universe by any means necessary. This storyline is rich with themes of legacy, redemption, and the cyclical nature of life and death, offering a fitting swan song for Thor's character. It could also provide a cinematic platform for Hemsworth to explore Thor's regrets, sacrifices, and the toll of his eternal battles. But MCU's direction post-Secret Wars remains uncertain, but there's speculation that Marvel may pivot away from its traditional interconnected narrative model. Instead, they could focus on standalone projects with unique tones and styles. In such a scenario, a King Thor movie would fit perfectly. By 2028, audiences might be ready for a Thor with a tragic, bittersweet conclusion. Alternatively, fifth part could introduce Ares as the primary villain. He's the god of war and Hercules' brother, first appeared in 1966. Known for inciting conflict and chaos, Ares could bring a brutal, visceral energy to Thor 5. His complex relationship with Hercules mirrors the dynamic between Thor and Loki, allowing Thor to confront echoes of his past. Ares' more recent portrayal as an anti-hero adds layers of moral moral ambiguity, making him a compelling addition to MCU. If Marvel continues its multiverse exploration, movie could even feature alternate variants of Thor. There are more than a dozen in the comics. While this idea risks feeling derivative after the multiverse-heavy Loki series and Multiverse of Madness, the right writers could make it work, weaving together a narrative that explores Thor's identity and legacy across different realities. Whatever direction Marvel chooses, one thing is clear: Thor 5 represents a critical opportunity to restore the franchise's luster while delivering a meaningful and satisfying conclusion to one of its most iconic characters. Whether it leans into cosmic drama, dark fantasy, or multiversal fan service, this film must stand as a testament to Thor's enduring power and significance in MCU. Stay tuned.